Aquí arriba, sí.
Welcome.
Hello, good morning. Welcome all to the 16th edition of the MedaWeek. Here we are today, after 16 years, this is the first time that MedaWeek holds a special session focused on innovation. So welcome to the Mediterranean Innovation Hub. We are here to connect today businesses, investors, entrepreneurs, and the public sector. We believe that between our countries there are a lot of opportunities, business opportunities, ready to be discovered. So I hope you have a great day. The agenda this Thursday can be more interesting. We're going to talk about investors, we're going to talk about startups ready to be funded, we're going to be talking about projects and finding opportunities, and we all hope that you can find partners for your next business enterprise. But first, let me introduce you Diana Trujol from ASCAME. Welcome, Diana.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to give you a warm welcome to Barcelona. We have prepared the Mediterranean Innovation Hub with a lot of care, and we really hope that you enjoy. The aim today of this event is to create a network of entrepreneurs and investors in the Mediterranean region. In the Association of the Mediterranean Chambers of Commerce, we believe that the greatest asset of our region is the talent of its people. And our aim today is to give visibility and to give voice to great ideas that are going to be pitching, and to be an inspiration for all the rest of the people watching us, so we can inspire them to pursue their dreams. We count, of course, in our international donors and investors to help these ideas become a reality. In this declaration of intentions, we hope to be kicking off the first of many meetings where we can exchange ideas, we can find partners, and explore new ways of collaboration. We hope to be an annual forum where we can use the imagination of the human brain and technology to create a better future for our region. After that, I would like, of course, to thank you, the European Commission, the ENI CBC Med program, for their support and trust in this initiative that was born in the frame of INTECMED project. Thank you also to Costas for the intellectual author of this project. The main objective of INTECMED is to help in the innovation technology transfer between our countries. ASCAME's network mobilized around 100 million euros with international projects, and there are few of them with us today that I would like to mention. Mayataka, eHeritage, Organic, Medusa, are just few of them, as well as EPSOMED, which is from another project, another program, and also we have representatives of Prima here. I want to say that we are working on different sectors, but we are all moving in the same direction, and that's the most important thing. Of course, to conclude, I would like to give the thanks to the Chamber of Commerce of Barcelona for being a great partner of ASCAME, and for betting on positioning Barcelona as the capital of the Mediterranean. So I hope, we hope you enjoy, that you make partners, don't miss any opportunity to connect with other people. There will be another session upstairs, so we really invite you to feel free and explore what this day has to bring you. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. So let's start the business. Two more things. We have our ASCAME team here in the room, so in case you need anything, any info. And also remind you that after 7, so you need to stay here, we have a wonderful cocktail outside. But now, let's go ready for the first session. Thank you. I would like to invite for our first session to the next a panel of experts, really top in their fields. In this next session, we want to talk about the key ingredients to attract private and public funds to the Mediterranean. So please, let me welcome Vicent Emu. He is the coordinator of ENI CBC Med program. Welcome, Vicent. Also, we have here Emmanuel Cambras. He's the president of OpenMed Association. Welcome. Mohamed Waghi. He's the project officer of Prima. Welcome, Mohamed. And also we have here with us today Tarek El Kadi. He's the founder of the Mediterranean Business Angels. Welcome all to Barcelona. So let me, they're going to do a presentation, but let me start introducing Vicent Emu. We want to start from the public side. Vicent Emu, he is the coordinator for the Western Mediterranean ENI CBC Med program. Since 2017, he has previously been working in other programs like INTERAC or the Spain and Portugal CBC. He's also been ENI Med program liaison officer between 2010 and 2013, and between 2014 and 2017 he was the EU project manager at the Valencia Port Foundation. He holds a master's degree in business administration and European affairs. So welcome.
Thank you very much. To hear all these jobs I had before, it makes me feel a bit older. Thank you very much, ASCAME. I mean, you are in so many of our projects. You are doing this today, which is just amazing to fill a room now with all the events that we have. Currently, the COP and so many events. It's just so challenging. We know it. And despite all of this, you achieved really an amazing event. So thank you very much. And thank you very much for being in so many of our projects, supporting the challenges, supporting the objectives of our program on a daily basis. I would also thank all the friends that I have. I just met before Pablo from the Chamber of Sevilla. But as there are many friends here, and I'm sure I would forget somebody, I prefer not to cite everyone. Can I have the presentation?
I think you're going to need that one.
Okay. So, just waiting for the presentation. Not the disclaimer first, it's not that beautiful. Okay, so of course, most of you know the ENI CBC Med program, but what I'm going to tell you today is that the very good thing is that there is a new program coming, which is still better than the ENI CBC Med program, where we have so many of you playing an important role. The first thing that you notice in the general first slides is that now we are called Interreg. So for those of you who are aware of Interreg, it means that now we are part of the Interreg family. What does it mean? A good thing is that we should be a bit easier than before in terms of procedures. So that's a good point. And then now we are a transnational program, not a cross-border one, but this is rather accessory. We're still a program focusing on challenges, on priorities and opportunities, and I would mainly focus on challenges, because where there is a challenge for the Mediterranean, there is an opportunity to create a project in our program. The reason for the disclaimer is that the program is still not approved, but 99.99% of the things that I'm going to say will be on the program. The program will be approved by the end of the year by the European Commission. So don't worry. If you know a little bit of our history, in the very beginning we were called ENPI, then ENI, and then NextMed. ENPI, and then we lost the P because we lost the partnership with Russia in 2013. So we are the third edition. We have a vision and we have a mission. We are going to see, but our overarching objective is, of course, to create a better Mediterranean. That's easy, but that's also very difficult to create a real impact with what we have. We have key principles. One of them is co-ownership. So we want this program to be a program of everybody, not only of the structures, but also of you and of the people. Balanced partnership always. So we are a program financed by the European Union, but in our projects we want a balance between the south and the north. That's why we have a special rule for this. And then common benefits for everyone. So bilateral benefits and never only north-south, for example. of course, we are still managed by the autonomous region of Sardinia, and we still have a branch office here, 350 kilometers down to Barcelona, in Valencia, the region of Valencia. Our vision is to contribute to a smarter Mediterranean, a greener Mediterranean, and a more social Mediterranean. So have this on mind, because this is the first thing that you will have to express in the proposals if you are going to try to get a project approved in our program. And we have also a mission. So that's our vision, global vision. And we need one vision, because if we don't have vision, we don't know where we go, and you don't know where to go. So we really need this. And then we have a mission, is how to achieve this vision, and the mission is to use the power of cooperation. So for those of you who don't know us, we are not a thematic program like Horizon Europe, for example. We're not this type of program. We are a program, a cooperation program, meaning that to us, cooperation is as much as important as the tangible results that we achieve. So this is a key intangible result. The fact that some of you have become friends, some of you have become long partners, thanks to our program. That's really important to us. And also multi-level governance. This is the geography of the program. It has been a little bit extended. Now we have regions that, of course, are very much participating also in ASCAME, because we have the same geographical coverage. So we'll have now regions from Turkey, always talking of the Mediterranean regions of these countries. So not the inlands, regions from Turkey and regions from Algeria too. And for the rest of countries, pretty much the same. We have one difference, is that adjoining regions are not eligible anymore. So we don't have, unfortunately, if you are from Zaragoza today, I'm sure that then you will come to me and you will not be happy, but unfortunately, adjoining regions will not be there anymore. And we are going to start very soon. We're going to see it afterwards, but we are pending not only of the approval of the program by the Commission, but also of the approval of what we call the financial agreements between each of the southern countries and the European Commission. Good news, we now have more money than before. That means more money to you. That means also some projects, some extra projects, maybe also more competition, but I don't think so, because the competition was already so rough that I don't think we can increase the competition. So I think it's a good thing. That means an increase of more than 21% in comparison with ENI CBC Med program, and we still, and it is important to us and to the countries that build this program, we still maintain two of the specific elements of our program. So we are entering the INTERREG family, but we maintain specific advantages. One of them is the 90% co-funding, meaning you only have to bring 10% of own funding, and it can be, generally, it is human resources. Even in some countries like Italy, you don't have to put anything, because the national government put the rest. It is also the case of Greece. So some countries are happier than others. In Spain, we don't have this facility. So 10% have to be put from the partners. And then we still maintain the pre-financing. And that is very important, because our program, how much time do I have left?
You still have 5 more minutes.
5 minutes? Okay, I go quick. In our program, we have chambers of commerce, many of them, universities, business associations, etc. But we also have small partners, SMEs or ONGs. And if we don't give them funds in advance, they would not participate, simply. In terms of priorities, I will not speak of each of them. Please come to me afterwards, and I can give you further explanations. But in relation to this specific session, of course, we have the specific objective, policy objective 1. Our program, the next program, is divided into 3 policy objectives and 1 specific objective. The 3 policy objectives are a smarter Mediterranean, a greener Mediterranean, and a more social Mediterranean. So the blue one is a smarter Mediterranean. And this is probably where, at this moment, you can be more interested, though with a little bit of imagination, you can fit everywhere, frankly. And in policy objective 1, we have 2 specific objectives. The one is still very much in line with what we had now, to improve the competitiveness of SMEs, alliances, and partnerships. So very much in line with what we have now. We have a special focus on SMEs, of course. A program like ours cannot focus on multinational, that's obvious. And then we have the second specific objective, which is pretty much what you have now in our thematic objective on innovation. For those of you who don't know us, I know, you look me like I'm crazy, but then I give you further explanation. So there, the bridge between innovation and business, and all the things that you are doing now, that INTECMED is doing, that Mayataka is doing, we have many projects there, focusing on exploiting the potential of innovation to create new products, new services, and really we have many interesting products coming. So have a look also at our website, and you will see what I'm talking about. Then we'll have the green objective and the social one. In the green objective, we have a specific objective on circular economy. So I think that there almost any idea can fit also. This is the budget distribution by specific objective and policy objective. You will see that the green objective has a lot of importance. So we may say that we have become a green program. And I can assure you that there is a lot of space for any type of institution, including, of course, chambers of commerce, also in the green transition objective. And that's maybe the one where I could spend 2 extra minutes. Calls for proposals at this moment. I think this is the most important element. When I came here the last time, I think it was 3 years ago, I already announced the next program, but it was so far away that I think that there was no way to interest you. But now we are so close. The first call will be launched next year, in the first semester of next year. And it will be a standard call, so the most classical that you can imagine. No amazing structure or construction. But it will be twofold. That's a novelty. Our first standard call will be twofold. There will be a standard classic one, so that's the most classic one, open to all the specific objectives. And then that's the novelty. We will have a specific objective dedicated to the use. It has been something that has worked a lot. We have many results with the use. And then this specific call will be open to certain type of organizations. Either organizations ruled or governed by young people, or organizations that can prove, in some way that we still have to find how, that they are focusing, that they are serving the young people, that they are attending young people. Maybe in their status, for example, that it is clear that this institution is also helping young people. So that will be a twofold first call for proposal in next year. Probably March, April, May, we launch it. We give 3 months to present proposals. So that means that you have maybe 6-7 months coming, starting from now, to think about your proposal. That's not much, especially for lead beneficiaries. You have to build a partnership. You have to think of the idea, draft it. So, of course, start now. Then we will have the green transition call that will come very soon after. I know that you are thinking that we are always delaying, so what I'm saying now will not be true. But think that now we are an Interreg program, so we will be subject also to what's called the decommitment rule. That's very technical, but it means that we will not be able to wait so much as we used to do. That's a good point for you and for us, because we have more time pressure. Second call will be launched maybe by the end of next year or very beginning of 2024. And it will account for 35% of the budget, so a big one. you can see that the two first calls will account for 80% of the budget. So if the two calls are launched next year, your opportunity in this program is next year. So you really have to try working on this year and the start of next one, if you find any time, because you are so occupied. I know it. It's crazy. And then we will still have time for capitalization and consolidation calls, but these two calls are almost exclusively, not exclusively, but almost for those who have participated in the other two. So really, if you miss the train of the first two, we can say that you've missed the program. And of course, we don't want this. The green transition will be open to all the specific objectives that are relevant. And I have not been commenting this, but we have a specific objective on health for the first time. So if you work or if you have idea on how to improve access to health services, that would be a good point. And we also have, for the first time, a new specific objective on governance, how to improve the way challenges of the Mediterranean are governed by regions. And I think in terms of participation, everybody is welcome if it is based in an eligible region. That's how we can resume it. And that's the calendar. And I think I will stop here because I wouldn't like to keep time out of you and to have my organizer not happy with me.
Thank you for thank you for
Thanks
the explanation, Vincent.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Well, we have the experts right now, so if you have like more questions, then we will open an open mic also. Thank you for giving us these small tips. I can resume. Thank you for the update on the NextMed program and for these key proposals. They are looking for use the power of cooperation in three main areas to build a smarter, greener, and more social Mediterranean. Okay, so let's go ahead with the next panelist, with Emmanuel Cabras. He has been working in the European cooperation projects for the past 20 years. Because of his work, he founded the Open Met Association, where he is the president. He collaborates with multiple and funded projects to ensure their implementation. So, welcome, Emmanuel.
Thank you very much for inviting me at this important event. I have a presentation. I don't know if someone can put it on the screen. Okay, thank you. First, let me introduce me and my association. I see many colleagues, many friends here. OpenMed is not only funded by me, but it's funded by and participated by all colleagues that started with me many years ago. So if I'm here, is just thanks to all of you. Why we launched this initiative, Euro-Mediterranean Cooperation Summer School? Because at the beginning of EMPI program, so we are talking about maybe 10 years ago, we create a network. We are based in Cagliari, where the managing authority of a program is based. We are linked to the Chamber of Commerce of Cagliari, and we are part of the ASCAME family. So we felt the duty to create something that could help the ASCAME family to know better this important, not only important, this unique Euro-Mediterranean cooperation program. And we thought that the best way was to have an event where we can share our experiences, our competencies, our expertise, and improve our capacity to be part of this program, to be part of a cooperation, Euro-Mediterranean cooperation process, to accept this big challenge, because let me say that all of you knows that the Mediterranean cooperation is really a big cultural, human, and not only economic challenge. So we started with this experience in 2015. By our school, we expect that our attendees become more aware about the financing opportunities, first of all about the ENI program, more capable to design cooperation projects, and of course more linked to other people and organizations. But let me say something about the partnership. I mean the official partnership, because I told you that the real partnership is all of us that took part to this initiative. But as official partner, we have ASCAME, we have the Confederation of Egyptian European Business Association. Ala is one of our ALAS here. Dr. ALAS is one of our best promoter. Business Med that finance the last two editions by the EBSOMED project. As a local partner, we had the Chamber of Commerce of Cagliari and the University of Cagliari as well. Some figures we had during the 3 editions. We have 85 attendees coming from 12 countries, so more or less all the countries eligible at the ENI program, and about 70 organizations. The most important achievement of all this network is that at least 25 organizations that took part to the summer school then were part of more than 20 projects financed by the ENI program. So this is a very important achievement. This means that the people, and these are some people, the people that took part to our school then really became actor of real projects that concerns innovation, startups like INTECMED, for example, MyAttack, and so on. As I told you, the success of this initiative are the people. So we are here some people that are present also among us, just some of them, just to demonstrate that, I repeat, what really counts on the cooperation process are the people. So next edition, we had, as you can imagine, we had a stop for some years because of a COVID crisis. Now we are starting again, thanks to the EBSOMED project. So at December, so the summer school became a winter school. But you know, in Sardinia it's always summer in some way, we can say that. Also here, of course. So we will have the opportunity to meet again the Vincent's colleagues based in Cagliari. So we will talk with them about the lessons learned by the closing program, and then we'll talk also about the next program, the next Med INTECMED program that Vincent presented us. We will also have some spaces for project managers of some ENI projects, for example, INTECMED again, but also other projects that we will discuss with them what have been the more critical point of the management of this project in order to improve the future performance. And then the second day, we'll work on some laboratory sessions on 6 topics that are all topics in the framework of a new NextMed program. And the aim is to elaborate some project ideas that could be helpful to participate to the next calls that will be launched next year. We will, as usual, we will try to apply, I don't want to annoy you with technical issues, but just let me say this point. We have a simple methodology of applying the logical framework methodology, and we will use this methodology during this laboratory. And that's all. Thank you again, and I'm here to give any clarification.
For reinforcing the idea that the European cooperation is more than an economic challenge. It's about people. So let's go ahead. Let me introduce you Mohamed Waghi. He is the project officer at the PRIMA, the Partnership for Research and Innovation in the Mediterranean area. Before joining this, he worked as a director of the Observatory of Business Innovation and Social Entrepreneurship at the private university, and he worked as a coordinator of the National Academic and Scientific Research and Technology in Egypt. Since 2018, at the PRIMA Secretariat in Barcelona, he monitors the implementation of agro-food-funded projects. So he represents PRIMA in international conferences, mainly about circular economy, green business, and agri-food in the MENA region. Welcome.
Okay, thank you so much. Do we have the mic? Hello? Is it okay? Perfect. Okay, good morning to all of you. First, allow me to thank the organizers for inviting us as PRIMA to be with you today in this beautiful city of Barcelona and in this amazing city hall. I am Mohamed Waghi. I'm here representing the PRIMA Foundation, or the PRIMA Secretariat based in Barcelona. In the next minutes, I will take you in a quick journey about what we achieved after the first 4 years of the program, and also to shed the light about the role of the SMEs and the startups in the PRIMA projects. And I will finish my presentation, which hope it will come here in this screen. Perfect. So at the end, I will talk about what is next and what we are expecting from the second year in 2023 and the new call. So let's start with first, what is the PRIMA program? That some years ago, the European Commission held a series of meetings with the Mediterranean countries, talking about and discussing the common societal challenges facing the Mediterranean, such as the climate change. We all know that the Mediterranean region is one of the most vulnerable area of the world that's suffering from the global warming and the climate conditions. Also the high population growth rate, which reflect on many socio-economic implications, such as the region is one of the highest rate of unemployment, around 27%, especially among youth and women. Plus, for sure, the classic problems and challenges such as the food insecurity, water scarcity, energy deficiency, and losing biodiversity due to some unsustainable agricultural practices that we have, and last but not least, for sure, the lack of innovation, especially in investment from the private sector. So after all these discussions and meetings, they came with an agreement with 19 participating states with the European Commission in order to launch the program PRIMA over 10 years, starting from 2018. And they put an investment around €500 million to be invested, and it is co-funded between the European Commission under Section 1 with the total investment €220 million, and 22 national funding agencies from the 19 participating states. They invested in the program in total around €274 million under Section 2. So in the program has two arms or two dimensions. Section 1 funded from the Commission, and Section 2 funded from the national participating states. And all these two sections are managed by the BRIMA Secretariat here in Barcelona. We are focusing on 4 thematic areas, not like the ENI CBC Med, that we have our own thematic areas: the management of water, farming system, agri-food value chain, which are the one I'm responsible for, and water, energy, food, and ecosystem nexus. Plus, we are not forgetting as well the cross-cutting areas such as the digitalization, gender equality, capacity building, and circular economy. Now let's go to show to you some results that we already achieved after 4 years, starting from 2018 till 2021. You can scan this code. Don't worry, this is not my vaccination code, but it is the platform that we invented for you. You can go to the BRIMA website and you can retrieve all information. You can do analysis, search for partners, and you have as well the partnering and matching platform. But I will just focus on the main KPI that we have. After 4 years, we managed to fund 168 projects with a total investment 225.7 million. But the most interesting indicator for us is the number of beneficiaries, or the research teams, SMEs, enterprises that are working now with us and co-create together with each other in order to find solutions for the problem that we have in the Mediterranean. So far, we have 1,571, and hopefully in the next 3 weeks maximum, we will have the results of the 2022. So I think we will reach at least 2,000 beneficiaries. For Section 1, I just want to focus here on the private participation. For Section 1, we funded 53 projects, and we can see that 143 SMEs are involved in these projects. And for Section 2, we funded 115 projects. So in total, we have around 250 small, medium-sized enterprises from the Mediterranean countries are involved in these projects. So let's shed the light on the rules and the participation. So the first question would be, what is the motivation for them to join such international cooperative projects? The first, that maybe they are looking to get access to more financial resources, to technological solutions, to expand their networks and alliances, to increase for sure their profitability, and to create more jobs, especially the green ones, to boost the research and innovation competencies that they have, to scale up and out their businesses in a sustainable manner, and not to forget for sure to generate favorable environmental and socio-economic impacts for their surrounding. The rules, they are cooperating with the other NGOs, the research foundations, public authorities, and academic institutions in adapting, developing new technologies, products, services, and solutions, testing and validation and upscaling of these technologies, to study the local market and to help those products and technologies to be commercialized at a regional and at a local level, and not to forget as well the dissemination, communication, and exploitation of the results, especially the key exploitable results of their projects, and the project management and the reporting. This is some example of the green businesses of some of our projects and the region of their specialty or the area that they are working for, such as reducing the greenhouse gas emission via sustainable farming practices, wastewater treatment and desalination, minimizing the energy and water consumption via WFNX's comprehensive approaches and solutions, minimizing and valorizing the agri-food waste and using the byproducts to have value-added products for the smallholders and the small farmers, adaptation of the plant species to the climate change, and creation of the green businesses. My last section, that please stay tuned and keep following the BRIMA website and the social media, because now we are just waiting for the green light from the European Commission and from the BRIMA Board of Trustees to launch the new call of the 2023, hopefully in the first quarter of the next year. So I will not be able to go to the details of the topic that we will publish because we are still waiting for the approvals, but we can talk about the general rules of participation for the BRIMA project. In order to participate, you cannot participate solely or a single partner, but you have to be part of a consortium, at least 3 independent legal entities from at least 3 different participating states, at least 1 from the EU member states and 1 from the non-EU countries participating in BRIMA. just to give you some insight, that based on the analysis that we have, on average, the average size of the consortium should be around from 9 to 11 partners from 5 to 6 countries. This is the average that we notice in the funded projects after 4 cycles. You can access all information from the BRIMA website, like the templates, the calls, the topics, and also you can use the partnering tool in order to find or to look to for other partners. And this is my last slide, just let's say some takeaways or advices for the next that you need to look around, because you will find that for our topics, we used to focus on the relevant challenges or priorities in the region. Like for instance, at the time of COVID, we published the call in order to help the small farmers to be adapted to this climatic condition and this pandemic or this crisis at that time. Widen your network and engage with your counterparts. And thanks for ASCAME for organizing such very prestigious and important event, which can be a good chance for you to be in touch with other partners. Your idea or your project has to be relevant to BRIMA, to the EU priorities, and also to the societal challenges and national and regional priorities. We are working with partners, not alone. Be creative, and this creativity can be in the idea of your project. And please consider that if you are the owner of a business, for instance, or you have a brilliant idea, but here you will be just a part of a consortium. So you need to cooperate with other partners from other sectors, from other countries as well. So you are in this synergy or complementary environment. Be precise. So this is one of the key advices that we keep telling all future applicants, that you need to be to mention specifically and precisely the measurable KPIs or activities that you are going to use or to achieve. Last but not least, please, important to contact your national contact points. And thanks for the 22 national funding agencies that we have. So at each one of the BRIMA participating states, the 19 participating states, we have national contact points. You can access their contacts from the BRIMA website. In the January or February, hopefully, that we used to organize here in Barcelona at the Union for Mediterranean, just few kilometers from here, the BRIMA Info Day. So please keep an eye on the BRIMA website and social media channels, because we will keep updating it and to announce the launch of the new call. Thank you so much and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wagi. Thank you for explaining us BRIMA and trying to address so many challenges ahead: water, energy, agro-food, and also and also congrats for those more than 1,500 beneficiaries of the program. Okay, we keep moving. Next of our experts is Tarek Al-Kadi. He comes from Egypt, from Alexandria. He is a leading entrepreneur and business angel investor. He is the executive chairman at Kidi Group. He is a group of marketing and advertising agencies located in the Middle East and North of Africa. He is also the founder of Techie, Alex Angels, and the Mediterranean Business Angels. Tarek is a truly passionate about helping young people to start their business. In 2019, he was awarded by the American University in El Cairo Venture Lab for his entrepreneurial ecosystem. So, welcome to Barcelona.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Tarek.
So I won't be needing this. I don't have a presentation. But good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. And I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting me. It's the first time that you have the innovation and investing track. So I'm happy to take part of that and seeing how I can support and all with my esteemed colleagues. So, to begin with, the venture funding in Europe in Q3 totaled to around $16 billion. This might seem like a big number, but this is actually 44% less month over month than going down from 26 billion, maybe, I think. So funding has been going down in the private sector in terms of venture funding. And this goes in line with globally, but it, for us in early stage investing, is quite interesting because we look at early stage, specifically seed stage investment. So how many startups do we have in the room? We have raising capital, I assume. Okay, great. And when we talk about startups in our books, it's different than SMEs and traditional businesses. So we look at startups that are companies who are tech or tech-enabled, who are disrupting business models, who have a high potential to scale. And this is the area, the specific area that we invest in. So just to give you a background about the Mediterranean Angels, so Med Angels was established 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and the end of 2019, and we have around 27 member organizations, more than 1,500 investors from 23 different countries. And the basic concept that we have is that we collaborate and promote cross-border investing. I was very happy that the first company we invested in was a Spanish company. So the rules for cross-border investing has to have a lead investor from the local country, and then other investors would follow. Before that, I already founded the Alexandria Business Angel Network. We have around 70 investors from 5 countries. And we have more than 30 companies that we've invested in, mainly focusing on Egypt and investing in startups in Egypt. And we have a platform that attracts yearly more than 35,000 people from investors, corporates, and government. 3 weeks ago, it's an event that happens in Alexandria to promote investment in startups, innovation, and this is how the whole ecosystem works together with the companies that we have in terms of investment and entrepreneurship. So basically, again, back to the Mediterranean Angels, which is what we are mainly focused on and promoting this cross-border ecosystem. So we have our investors investing in deals that range from ticket sizes from 100,000 euros up to 1 million euros. This comes from individual investors from different clubs. So right here in Spain, we have the Catalonia Business Angels who are members, and startups coming from Spain would be requiring to have a lead investor, preferably coming from locally, from the country where they are operating. But we have, members from around the Med, from like Italian Angels, Alex Angels, Carthage Business Angels from Tunisia, so all over the Med. And now we have also some business angel networks that have joined us from North America and Southeast Asia, with the ultimate purpose of to get more capital invested in startups. Now, the thing is, it's, we don't invest in ideas, just for the entrepreneurs who are pitching. I assume some of you are going to be pitching today at noon, but for the others, we believe ideas are great, but ideas alone have zero value. And I think people will hate me when I say that, but an idea without proper execution has no value, even if it's a brilliant idea. And you cannot really tell if it's a brilliant idea or not unless it's solving a real problem. So you need to identify the problem that you're solving. This is number one. And identify the team that's going to be solving the problem, which is the number one thing that we look at as investors. And what innovation and what makes you different in the market, and what's the size of the market. Because investors, looking at from the investor's perspective, we're looking at returns that would give us 20% IRR on the dollar or on the euro. So this is a big return because it's a big risk. So unless we believe that this company would give us at least a 30x return on the exit, we will not invest. So, and we know that half of our portfolio will fail. Now, if you look at the news all over the world, all the big companies are firing people, laying off, losing their jobs, and some companies are actually going down the drain and collapsing, multi-billion-dollar companies. So this is a big risk, and one of the biggest investors, like SoftBank, have actually written off a lot of companies. So it's a very high risk, and for us, we're investing, of course, at the very early stage. So we come in after the founders have put in all their monies in their pockets themselves, taking the money out of the friends and family and other fools, as they say, the 3 Fs. And then afterwards, we come in and just to validate that you have the right team that's solving the right problem in the right market with a proper plan to expand regionally. Then we come in and help with a small check, as I mentioned, but also with our network. And the good thing about getting investment from angel groups is that you get diverse access to network and access to know-how and access to different markets. It's not just about the money, it's about the smart money and how you can raise follow-on funding from VCs and from other different investors. I mean, the grants are great, and we have a lot of programs that we've done with several organizations to have matching grants. So for each $10,000 invested from an individual angel, we would get another $10,000 that would match that to guarantee the growth and to make sure that this money is coming into a company that is sustainable, that has, the teams have done proper diligence and have done enough, research on that. This is basically the concept of angel investing and the concept of what we are doing at Med Angels and Alex Angels and all the angel investors that we have who are putting in the smart capital into companies. We look at this time, even though the numbers are going down, we look at it as an opportunity for investment at the very early stage. Because right now there are problems. I mean, right at the pandemic, when the beginning of the pandemic, everything fell down, but then a few months later, everything picked up, and this was the highest peak of venture investing. Right now, it fell down due to the economic situation, but again, strongly believe that right now, if you are in the right space at the right time, solving the right problems, you'll be able to raise capital from angels and VCs. So again, I'd like to thank you for the time and for being here, and I'll be with you the rest of the day to see maybe how we can support with our network. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tarek. So for the interested in the room, he was pretty clear, but he's looking for disruptive business models, not only good ideas, just to solve problems with a right team, innovation to difference in the market, in a very precise market. So they are going to be, as he said, all around. If you want to ask any questions, but for the ones that they are not shy, we have an opportunity right now to raise any questions to any of our experts. So any questions in the room? Ooh. Everything pretty clear. Okay, the French, they have this saying. I'm not going to say that in French, okay? Just trying to do my thing in English today. L'esprit de l'escalier. How is that? That you go, and when you are in the going down the stairs, you have this right idea. I thought I should have asked them this thing. So, well, that's not a problem because they're going to be around. So it's time. How do you call that in English? In French, Emmanuel Vincent.
Sorry?
Like the spirit of the escalator. How do you say that in French?
I don't know, frankly. But I'm from Belgium, so that may be an expression typical from France.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know, frankly.
Anyway, they're going to be here around. Now it's time for a coffee break, so please join us outside. We're going to come back at. Okay, do you have a question for them, Diana? Okay, so she's going to be the...
Hola, perfecto. Vale. So since the coffee break is going to be in 30 minutes, I would like to launch a question for each of you and see what is your response. So for you, I would like to see what are you looking at, or how do you see the future of the region, but being very specific, in the next 5 years, what do you think will be the main challenges that we will be facing? And how the money will be moving, let's say, like in being an international donor, being an investor, what will be like the main key priorities, key challenges for the next 5 years, let's say. If we can inspire also both projects to write nice concept notes and also startups to solve these problems. Thank you.
Very good.
I can start.
Thank you, Tarek.
From our perspective, raising capital now from investors is, yes, it is a good time for us, but then capital is not easy to raise. And it's even harder now for startups these times. So every several years, we have an economic downturn. This has happened, this is history, and it becomes harder to raise capital at the time, even though the same amounts or bigger amounts will be invested most of the time, but it's going to be harder to prove that you are really solving these problems and making sure that ensuring now with all the companies that have went down, that there's proper governance and there's proper monitoring from the board. There's a proper board there, and there's a proper communication on a frequent basis between the investors and the startups. This is the main thing. The other thing is that our advice to all the entrepreneurs that are raising capital is that not just to go to all the investors around. Start local and start by doing your homework and understanding where do these investors invest in. So each investor has a specific sector, specific ticket size. They have their portfolio. Most investors will not invest in competing industries. They'll invest in complementing ones. So make sure that most of the time, if you're sending cold emails, to have 4 points really addressed. What are you doing? What problem are you solving? What problem are you solving? Who is your customer? Why should the investor invest? Not why you're doing what you're doing, because entrepreneurs really fall in love with what they're doing and they forget about their customers, they forget about the problem. So why should I invest in this company? And when should this capital be deployed, and when should we talk? And this should not go to everyone, should go to the right people, and always referrals are very good. So this is just quick tips on how to do that now. In 5 years, hopefully, we'd get our return on investment and get our exit. So that's what we're looking at.
Okay. Is it working? Okay. Thank you so much, Diana, for raising this issue. I have two intro points. First, that some weeks ago, the IMF and the World Bank, they organized some series of discussions and meetings, and then they come out with this declaration that the global economy is moving from the recovery to a bit of uncertainty. And this is clear that after the COVID pandemic, and we are just in the way to recover from this lockdowns and all disruption in the supply chain all over the world, we have been hit, all of us, specifically the Mediterranean countries, with this Ukrainian war and this political instability in the region. Another fact that the UNESCO Institute of Statistics, the UIS, stated that the private sector investment in the Arab states among the lowest all over the world for investment in the innovation and research. This is another fact that we need to consider. So I would have, let's say, two messages, one for the policy and decision makers and one for the entrepreneurs and the startups owners. First, for the policy and decision maker, that it is a transformative momentum that we have these days. Yes, exactly as my colleague here, Tarek, said, that we have a lot of problems, a lot of challenges, a lot of uncertainty, especially if you are doing your businesses. Big companies and big enterprises all over the world are now collapsed or try to downsize. But you can look it from the other side, that maybe this is the time to change our rules. Because yes, some of our national regulations in our countries may prohibit the private sector or the profit-making organization to participate. And here, I would love to thank our 22 national funding agencies, because they show a high flexibility and resilience at the time of the COVID. They changed a lot of national regulations, old regulations that they were applying, in order to be adapted and to show the dynamism of our SAL. Because now, not just changing the games, changing the rules of the games, but I think now we are changing the whole game now. The second idea, or the second message to the entrepreneur, that you can look for these challenges as a potential business opportunities and an innovation, an opportunity for innovation, or a chance for your innovation. So you can flip these problems that the society is facing, or the climate, especially we all followed over the last couple of weeks the COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh for the first time, that a lot of potentials and a lot of opportunities have been raised. So I keep saying that the problem is not on the availability of the finance, but how to access this finance and to apply for it. So that's why in the ENI CBC Med, in the BRIMA and other programs, we are always talking about not to apply as a single partner, but you are collaborating with the others. Because maybe you can come with a bright or a good technology, but maybe the other partners elsewhere in the Mediterranean or the other countries in the EU can provide you some additional benefits to your technology and to your solution, and this will boost for sure your business and your startups or entrepreneur SME. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. I would say something very much in line with what I presented before, because we have three policy objectives. One is a smarter Mediterranean, and the second one is a greener one. So, and also in line with what Mr. Tarek said, and also the PRIMA program. Of course, we know that SMEs, the first mission for an SME is to create profit, not only to reward the investors, or the 3F. I liked very much the 3F and the full one. Not only to reward them, but simply to be sustainable. Of course, we understand that if you don't create profit, there is no business. But then, and this was the message that we shared last Monday at the COP27, where we were happy to be, is that future customers will require a green compromise from the organization. So there will probably be no future for a company that has not integrated the environment and the green economy into their core values, into their business strategy. So I think that finding these makes this magic formula between being competitive, and it's already very tough in the Mediterranean. We are talking of very small organizations, and we have the pressure of Asia, which is much more productive than us. So it's very tough. You don't have time. You don't have money to hire a consultant to draft a climate change adaptation plan. You don't have a department to think about how to become green, but still you have the challenge, because if you don't incorporate the green thinking into your business strategy from the beginning, maybe you will create profit at the short run, but probably at the long run you will be overpassed by those competitors who are able to do it. So I would like to say this magic trick, we like to say, between competitiveness and green world. Sure, I'm convinced about this.
I totally agree with the colleagues when they say that, especially I'm talking about the Euro-Mediterranean Cooperation Program, PRIMA and ENI CBC Med, there is not a problem of available resources. The real challenge is to create more impact. For creating more impact in the next years, we need to involve young people, so millennials, as you said, Diana, women, and try by our projects to have a real impact on people and on territories. That's the real challenge for all of us. Let me say one thing, even if it does not depend on us, maybe it does not depend on the managing authorities of the programs, but there is another big challenge that concerns the European policies, and that is the contradiction between the migrants policies and the cooperation policies. It's not fair that every time we have to organize a meeting, we have a problem with visas. I understand that it's a very concrete problem. It's something that we cannot solve by ourselves. But if I was the managing authorities, I will submit this problem to the European Commission, and to find some way to. I don't know if dedicate a special treatment to people participating to cooperation projects, for example, or something like that. I don't know, but we cannot go ahead with such a big contradiction. That creates problem, also relationships problem with our Mediterranean partners.
Bravo.
So, Diana, we need to create more impact with a green mentality. So it could be like the resume. So, any other questions in the room? So now we can go for the coffee break and we come back here at 12 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you. I
Thank
would
you.
like to say for the startups, please come back by 11:45 so we can check. And the coffee break is just on that room.
No,
Thank you.
no, allora, è vero.